Team Trump embraced our enemies. Yeah. The problem is with Trump, he is a psychopath, right? That's what George Conway and the psychopath said. He has no human empathy except for himself.
You may actually explode during this segment, but not to further trigger you. That exchange with Trump, them saying, who stopped weapons to Ukraine? Trump saying, I don't know, why don't you tell me? So his blackout drunk defense secretary stopped weapons shipments to Ukraine on his own and didn't tell the commander in chief? Yeah. And he still has a job.
That's twice he's done that. You recall he did that in the first month because he said that's what he thought the boss would want. These people are predicting Trump's desires. They understand that he is a shill for Moscow, that he is working in Moscow's interest. They are killing people when they cut those weapons off. There are 30 Patriot missiles that are sitting in Poland, but the Patriots are there that are being overwhelmed by hundreds of missiles and drones fired per night, and they don't care. And I'm sure at some point you're going to talk to me about my tweet where I talk about people being killed by Donald Trump's decision-making.
Yeah,
People, go on.
No, let's get to, geez, on which front? But no, I mean, I just have to, I have to pause for a minute on this whole, like he just discovered Putin's full of, yesterday. I mean, for once, I'm happy he tacoed out and is going to send weapons to Ukraine, but they flip-flop on everything. And so he said yesterday, we get a lot of bull thrown at us by Putin, if you want to know the truth. He's very nice all the time, but it turns out to be meaningless. Is he literally the last living human that knows that Putin is a lying, murderous thug? He's so... Good God. So he said, Putin's not treating human beings right. He's killing too many people. So that means there would be a right number of people to kill? Tell him to get them out of Ukraine.
All the people who have died up to the moment that Donald Trump said Putin's killing people. Look, I'm going to tell you guys something, all right? And I'm going to have a long, heartfelt talk with Jim Acosta. By the way,
could you tell him to call us back? We would be happy to get your message to him if he would call us back.
Sure. All right. I'm going to talk to him in about 15 minutes.
Right. Tell him he's late.
So I'll tell him he's late.
All right.
But let me tell you something. The way that the media is acting complicit in this is even more disgusting. I wrote an entire book about Donald Trump's relationship with Vladimir Putin as KGB officer called The Plot to Betray America, right? How Team Trump embraced our enemies. Yeah. The problem is with Trump, he is a psychopath, right? That's what George Conway and the psychopath said. He has no human empathy except for himself.
Yeah.
And that means he doesn't care that 150,000 people are dead. The word dead means nothing to him except that it would cut off his revenue. He doesn't care that human beings are dying, that 40 million people will die from his decisions. And he definitely doesn't care about the people that died in Texas. So if you think he cares about Vladimir Putin and what Putin's doing, he just wants essentially a ego handy being done by Putin on him. And Putin as a KGB spy officer who manipulates people understands how to manipulate Trump.
Sidebar, speaking of your book and Plot to Hack America, so you heard they're prosecuting. Trump's DOJ is going to prosecute James Comey and who's it, Brennan? John Brennan. Over Trump Russia. Over whatever false statements to Congress. I mean, there's no there, of course.
Let me tell you something, Steph. I don't know if if you haven't listened to the last 4 Black Man Spy podcasts, go do it. Michael Steele, Joy Reid, and the worst thus far was with Dahlia Lithwick, who is a constitutional scholar.
Yeah.
She terrified me. She said the Supreme Court no longer cares about precedents or law, and that right now the Supreme Court will make any decision that benefits Trump. And if a AOC president becomes in and decides to use all these executive powers, they will flip on their previous decisions to limit all of them. And she said they are equivalent to the Nazi Supreme Court. That was my paraphrasing. The same one your father, right, in Nuremberg tried to prosecute. The people who made crimes laws. Well, and I got to tell you something. You know, I like to have a good time during my podcast. I didn't laugh not once in that hour. It is not funny anymore.
Yeah. Well, the headline you're referring to, Supreme Court clears the way for Trump's plans to downsize the federal workforce. Their rulings have just become whatever Trump wants. Overturn the lower courts and just, presidential immunity. Whatever he wants to do. Doesn't have to be authorized by Congress, right?
We need to start saying this out loud. I'm calling for a project, our Restoration 76. That's the 76 million people that voted for Kamala Harris. Y'all better get involved and get out there, because you know what we need to do? We need to do like, Project 2025. We need to start promising what we're going to do to you when the next administration takes over and it's Democratic. Like, we will fire every person hired under Donald Trump who works in government just because the Supreme Court says we can. We will overturn every rule. We will put every person who was fired by him back into office with all of their back salary for 4 years, and then we will lock this in by laws. They want to play this game. We need to play this game.
So let's talk about the tipping point for MAGA. So them lying, the Epstein files, and then this one, MAGA rages over reversal on weapons for Ukraine. So one of the, blah, blah. Trump announced Monday the U.S. will send more weapons to Ukraine to combat Russia, making a lot of MAGA world livid. I did not vote for this. Wrote J6er? Oh, that was pardoned. The guy that was a J6er that was pardoned. Yeah. Another one said, what the actual... who in the hell is Trump that we need to send more weapons to Ukraine? Posted another, Keith and Kevin, some conservative.
Oh, they're good.
Yeah. So Trump just said we're going to be funding Ukraine's proxy war now. Wrote America First, somebody, Tiffany, somebody, I don't know. I mean, MAGA's imploding, right?
No.
I mean, the Epstein files has made them lose their minds.
Bad news for you. They're not imploding. These are the biggest group of lying hypocrites, quite possibly, in the history of the world. Ignore these happy themes that you think that MAGA is having trouble. These are the same people that have no problem taking food out of the mouths of tens of millions of children who will now be hungry when they come to school. They have no problem hunting down 20 million people in our streets. And it's going to start getting to the highways and the byways where they're going to start seeing ICE officers everywhere. Now the largest secret police in the history of the world.
Literally the only guest I have to turn my headphones down for. Hold on.
ICE is going to be bigger than the KGB guys.
I know, but than most militaries. Let me just finish with the one you said.
My point was, these people don't have a problem with any of that stuff, but the Epstein files wasn't released to them. Now they're mad.
Yeah.
They're not mad until all Trump has to do is something to brown people, gays, or others, and they'll be happy again.
Yeah, there you go. Just get back to hating the people we hate.
That's correct.
You mentioned it, but you basically, you just blue-skied. You said, bottom line, Trump killed those kids in Texas. It's his fault. Blame him. He will kill again. I mean, I'm so sick of... Joy Reid said it on your podcast about playing by the regular rules is not sufficient in the face of fascism. No. He blames everyone but himself for every disaster. He blames Biden or other Democrats for every disaster that happens. This one is, I keep saying, Malcolm, Republican on down. From Trump cutting all the National Weather Service and NOAA, down to the state and local level, all run by Republicans. So you can't lay this at anyone's feet but Republicans.
No, I'm sorry. Trump did this. The same way that Trump caused hundreds of thousands of Americans to die in COVID. He did this. These people have no empathy, MAGA is heartless. MAGA is cruel. MAGA is they're literally un-American. They hate everything America stands for, and that's why you guys have me into this black version of the African-American version of Lewis Black every week now.
You're your own anger translator. Yeah. All right, we have to go now. We love you. Save a little juice for that Black Man Spy podcast.
Yeah, will do. Bye.
All right, Shouty. See ya. Well, this is all too familiar to me, right? You wake up with a scratchy throat, congestion, maybe a runny nose or a cough. You know your body. You know you're getting sick. So your choices are you tough it out, you get sick, take time off from work, hope the doctor can see you this month, right? Wait 2 hours at urgent care, sit in a room full of other sick people, or you can open your medical emergency kit just like mine. I just match my symptoms to the doctor recommended prescription, start on the right meds, and I nip it in the bud right now. This is not a first aid kit. It comes with doctor prescribed meds to treat dozens of common and serious medical issues, strong antibiotics for infections of all types, strep throat, pneumonia, UTIs, bronchitis, and a lot more. Plus, a doctor's easy guide so you know exactly what to take and when. No waiting to see the doctor, no waiting at the pharmacy. All my meds are right here in my kit. Every home should have at least one medical emergency kit. Order yours online in just minutes. Your kit will be rushed to your door. Get $45 off at urgentcarekit.com/Stephanie. The promo code is Stephanie. Don't forget promo code Stephanie at urgentcarekit.com/Stephanie.